I had a good time, and I did some great discoveries from yam. So I continued. I was sponsored to Argentina when I decided to do translational research, not just drug discovery. I was doing drug discovery before, but when two of my friends died from breast cancer, I decided to start translating all the discoveries I've been making into clinical work. So I was also lucky to get sponsored. The University of Buenos Aires, they have a lab, an establishment that is concentrated, focused on drugs from plants for hard to treat cancers, not just any cancer, triple negative breast cancers. So I was fortunate. I got there. I was there for 2 months, and I applied those African plant extracts that I took from Nigeria to those living cells, cancer cells. And it was amazing. Patrick, it was amazing. Yam is one of the extracts that I took. And they were asking me, you eat this daily? And look at what it's doing to cancer cells.
Wow.
So
Wonderful.
it's impressive what we have in Africa. Okay. So then we were able to do that. We established that those extracts, I went with 3 plants: yam, live plants, which is called Bryophyllum pinnatum, and soursop. Soursop is a fruit. I took the leaves extracts, and all 3 were amazing. They all performed better than paclitaxel. Paclitaxel is the cancer drug of choice. So my host was saying, we need to do more, in this area, so that we channel it into targeted therapy. It took me till 2024 to be able to do that in Spain. So I now decided to formulate them into nanoparticles. That was the work I did in Spain. So all these travels showed me that our plants, our natural products, African natural products, are valued more outside than within.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to African of Science. Today's conversation is a very special one. I'm honored to be joined by Dr. Joy Odimegwu, a cancer researcher, drug discovery scientist, pharmacognostic educator, entrepreneur, and mentor. Dr. Odimegwu's work sits at the intersection of natural products, oncology, nanomedicine, formulation science, and the translation of research into real-life health solutions. Beyond the lab, she has spent more than a decade training future pharmacists and scientists while also building science-based products and mentoring young women across Africa and globally. Good morning, Dr. Odimegwu. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you are doing well.
Thank you. Good morning, Patrick. I'm very happy to be here. I'm very well. How are you?
I'm fine too. Thank you very much. Do you prefer Dr. Odimegwu or Joy for this interview?
Joy is fine. Joy is fine. Thank you.
I have noticed that doctors in Africa are very humble. It is different from what people think, because sometimes some of them, they go to lectures with very big cars, and we think that they are not humble. But on African of Science, I always discover very humble doctors. Okay, wonderful, Joy. So let us continue. So what can you say about yourself for people who don't know you?
Okay. Thank you very much, Patrick. I'm very happy to be here. Like I've said, Dr. Joy Odimegwu. I'm a lecturer, a senior lecturer at the Department of Pharmacognosy, Faculty of Pharmacy, University of Lagos. Essentially, what I do is to teach undergraduate and postgraduate students about herbal medicines, standardization, drug discovery, targeted therapies of these herbal medicines that have been there for many years. Our ancestors used them. So they are still very relevant. WHO tells us that 80 to 90% of people depend on these herbal medicines. So they are very relevant, and we keep working on them to make them better. So that's essentially what I do. What my core research is on cancers and hormones. So I channel most of my teaching in that direction, so that my students who are very young will know that we have solutions to these problems. that sometimes it seems as if it's impossible. There are solutions, even in herbal medicines. So it's just that we don't have the infrastructure. And that is what I teach them, to have, this exploratory outlook, to be able to tackle problems that seem impossible just because they are living in Africa, in a developing country or continent, that there is always hope because the brains are there. The expertise, the people that are experts in these areas are also there. Thank you.
When you look back, what first sparked your interest in medicinal plants, natural products, and drug discovery?
Yes. Okay. In the beginning, my first degree is botany. My project work in botany was economic botany, and I worked on a medicinal plant, Denetia tripetala. Also, my parents at home, we use herbal medicines. When I made the decision to do more after botany about herbal medicines, was a sad story. A friend of mine that got married immediately after high school had a baby. She was living on the same street with me. I was in university. She had gotten married, so she wasn't in school yet. And I came home over the holiday, and I heard that her baby died, a toddler. So I went to see her. She told me what had happened. He was teething, so it was an infection. So when I got home, I told my mom, and my mom wept. My mom said that she sees the lady carrying the baby, on the streets. That we're neighbors, sort of. And she didn't know that was the problem, that if she knew, she could have told her a herbal medicine she could have used. Her mom had come earlier and gone before the baby fell ill. So my mom felt so sad that a herb that was at the backyard that could have helped the baby, maybe to live, this lady didn't know, this my friend didn't know. And it was a very common herb that we use in stews. We call it efirin here, is basil, Ocimum basilicum, that has powerful antimicrobial constituents. So when I heard that, it resonated with me. And I thought, okay, after this botany, I'm going to do more, because my people can't continue dying when the drugs are in their own small gardens, are in their backyards. So that is when I decided to do a master's and a PhD in pharmacognosy, in herbal medicine research.
Wow, it's interesting how an experience like this can influence your journey, your professional journey, your academic journey. And
Yes.
maybe people at that time or even now think that using herbs, using grasses, it's like a small witch, if I can say like this. What do
Yes,
you think
yes.
about that? Many people
Thank
don't
you.
like
Yeah.
to use grasses or herbs.
Yes, it's controversial. It's controversial because in Nigeria, for instance, is not all of Africa. In Ghana, I'm aware that is integrated. Their herbal medicine and orthodox medicine is integrated. In Asia, India, where I study for PhD, is integrated. So people don't look at them with disdain. But in Nigeria, it's not integrated. People want to use, but they're skeptical about the safety. It's more skeptical because their doctors, the orthodox doctors, don't believe in it. So they tell them, don't. Some people look at it as juju, is
Exactly.
so but you and I know that that's not true. It's not true. It's not juju. There is a scientific backing for every herb that is able to be used to treat some illnesses. There is always a scientific evidence there.
Yeah, you mentioned Asia and other parts like Ghana, introducing
Yes.
these herbs, grasses, and this scientific aspect of the thing already in their, if I can say, in their living every day. So, and on your journey, you had the possibility to work in Nigeria, India, Argentina, and Spain, I think. What
Yes.
did these international experiences teach you about doing science at a global level?
Okay. Yes, I've been lucky fortunate, I can say, to have funding to do these things. My first travel abroad for research was to India for my PhD. I was sponsored by Tours UNESCO. So there, I was able to work in a lab where I took local knowledge from Nigeria to India because I was looking for what makes yam. Yam is a staple. We eat it every day, 10 times in a week. So I know that yam has medicinal ingredients. So I'm looking for what makes yam tick as a medicine. So that was what I took to India. And I was impressed because in India, like I've said before, they integrate herbal medicine and orthodox medicine. So I found out that we share similar values with India, Nigeria and India. So I was very comfortable working in the lab. It's high throughput, was a very advanced lab, the lab of Professor Neelam Sangwan. I enjoyed myself tremendously. Indians are marvelously hospitable. They are wonderful people. When I came back from my PhD, I was looking so fresh. My colleagues couldn't believe that I went for PhD studies. I had a good time and I did some great discoveries from yam. So I continued. I was sponsored to Argentina when I decided to do translational research, not just drug discovery. I was doing drug discovery before, but when 2 of my friends died from breast cancer, I decided to start translating all the discoveries I've been making into clinical work. So I was also lucky to get sponsored. The University of Buenos Aires, they have a lab, an establishment that is concentrated, focused on drugs from plants for hard to treat cancers, not just any cancer, triple negative breast cancers. So I was fortunate. I got there. I was there for 2 months and I applied those African plant extracts that I took from Nigeria to those living cells, cancer cells. And it was amazing. Patrick, it was amazing. Yam is one of the extracts that I took. And they were asking me, you eat this daily and look at what it's doing to cancer cells.
Wow.
So it's impressive what we have in Africa. Okay. So then we were able to do that. We established that those extracts, I went with 3 plants, yam, live plants, which is called Bryophyllum pinnatum, and soursop. Soursop is a fruit. I took the leaves extracts. And all 3 were amazing. They all performed better than paclitaxel. Paclitaxel is the cancer drug of choice. So my host was saying, we need to do more, in this area so that we'll channel it into targeted therapy. It took me till 2024 to be able to do that in Spain. So I now decided to formulate them into nanoparticles. That was the work I did in Spain. So all these travels showed me that our plants, our natural products, African natural products, are valued more outside than within because they are seeing molecules that work, not where it's from, is that this can solve a problem. And that is amazing. And it has motivated me in my work. So despite whatever is happening here, the doctors don't believe, I know that it's true. So I continue my work.
Wonderful. You do not only promote science in Nigeria or in Africa, but in the whole world with your work.
Yes, I do.
Before talking deeply about your cancer research, you mentioned something very interesting, the funding. You are not only fortunate, but maybe I think you are very, very successful in what you do. So people notice it and they want to fund you. On the internet, on LinkedIn, on many platforms, sometimes I read people searching for scholarships, searching for funding. Can you say something very briefly to these people searching for funding? What can they do to have such fundings?
Yes, this is very crucial. When I was starting off my career, I applied to so many different places and I was not successful. You get experience by trying. I have a PhD student now, and 2 of us are applying together for grants. and he's learning. You know, I write the first draft, or he writes the first draft, he sends to me, I correct, or I send to him and he corrects. He's a pharmacist. He's also a lecturer, but he's a junior faculty. So this is how I train and mentor people. You learn by doing. You know, let me give you an instance. There was a time a younger colleague wanted to apply to a scholarship that I had gotten. I was sponsored by Merck to Ethiopia for something, and she was applying. And she said to me, send me your successful proposal. Let me use it to apply. I didn't like it. I told her, that's not the way to do it. Send me what you have done. I will correct and send back to you, rather than giving you what I had done before. So thankfully, she understood what I was saying, and she did that. I worked on it. Unfortunately, she didn't get maybe her topic because we're working in different areas, but eventually she got a Fulbright fellowship based on a proposal she wrote. So from that experience, she learned that it's not by looking at what has been successful, you know, the full thing. You get senior colleagues that you feel could help you. You share what you have as a draft, and they'll help you to correct it. So now I'm speaking to younger researchers that are looking for funding, looking for scholarship. Share what you have. Be humble to take the constructive criticisms, and you will always succeed. Thank you.
Wonderful, Joy. Wonderful. What I notice is that everything you do is influenced by what you notice around you. First of all,
Yes.
what a history when you were young with your mother, with your neighbors, etc., people who died and it affected you. And then you said, okay, what if I study pharmacology, etc., study grasses, herbs, and now for the cancer research, you notice someone who died near you, someone you know, and then you try to research more about cancer using what we eat every day, like yam, etc. That's wonderful. It means that you should always be close to, sorry to say that, but you should always be close to people suffering to see how to help them because you have like a gift to search for solutions, not just in Africa but in the whole world. Congratulations for that, Joy. I have a
Thank you.
question regarding our food we eat, like yam, etc. Do you think that the fact that we eat it daily in Africa contributes to preventing cancer?
Yes, I think it can. That's the first line of answer is that. Yes, it can. Because the compounds in yam, Patrick, it's amazing that I worked with raw yam and boiled yam. Guess the one that is more effective? The boiled.
Boy.
Nature is amazing. So why is it? I was shocked. I expected the raw yam to be better, but the cooked one was better, killed more cancer cells, spared more normal cells. So that we eat those wholesome foods. You know, everybody is going back to plant-based. You know, my mantra is let your food be your medicine. Okay. So going back to plant-based, these yam, for instance, vegetables help to prevent those serious diseases if we eat them well. But now our lifestyle is so frenetic. In Lagos, where I live, people wake up at 4 to beat the traffic, and as they're going out, they are buying donut fried in deep oil, you know, with wheat that is polished. You know, these things affect our health. Before, when I was growing up, in my parents' house, we have bags of rice, yams. We don't eat rice every day. We eat it only on Sundays. It's there, but we eat more of the yam daily, maybe because it was cheaper. Okay, but now yam is so exorbitant, it's so expensive because there is being exported. But that should not be a problem, you know, because we have the land mass, we can increase yield. I also have the opportunity of having worked at International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, IITA. So I know that they are working on increasing yield of yams and cassava. By the way, Nigeria is the greatest producer of yam. globally.
It's not surprising. Nigeria is great.
Yeah, we are the greatest producer and we are the greatest consumers because we are many. Okay,
Yeah.
so that a fraction is being exported should not affect we that live here. You know, it can be so expensive that families can no longer buy yam. Patrick, is so bad. Now in Lagos, some people can't buy the full tuber. They cut it in pieces. So they buy in pieces. It's sad. And that is why we have a near epidemic of cancers. People are no longer eating well. So that is the answer to your question. If we eat well, we will not have these chronic diseases. Yeah.
Exactly. What I also noticed doing my research for this interview is that you don't only focus on research, but to translating in real world. You produced products like Painomo, Citrotox, and Brocolus. So,
Yes.
what motivated you to take that step from academia into product development? It's true that we know some of your history, your background when you were young, etc., people suffering around you, but do you have other motivations?
Thank you. It was necessity. The honest truth. It was necessity because at the time I was establishing, Citrotox was my first product. It's antimicrobial hand and surface sanitizer. I developed it with my postgraduate student, a master's student, Buki, Emily Buki. She's very good, very industrious. So when we were working on it, I told her she didn't have a job. So I told her, we can commercialize this and you start using it. It was at the time of Ebola. So there was this Ebola happening all over Africa. So we were working at something that could help protect people from Ebola. But then she finished, got married, left. So I continued working on it. Okay. So then, but I was not keen. I'm an academician and I'm a researcher. I'm a scientist by nature. So I was not
Yeah,
keen
we
about
noticed that.
business. I
Yeah.
was not too keen about business. But then Nigerian government started having problems with Nigerian lecturers. So we were not being paid. There was a time that we had a strike. No salaries for 8 months. Patrick, no salaries. For somebody that is wholly dependent on salary, it was terrible. So I had to fall back on family members. So it was my brother-in-law, my sister's husband, Nnamdi. My sister is Ifoma. He called me and said, Ogo means in-law. I heard that you have sanitizers and there is COVID happening. What do you need to put it in the market? I said, I need capital. Just give me money. He asked me, how much do you
Money,
need? I
money,
told him,
money.
he sent it. He sent the capital that I needed. And that is it. The business took off from there. And because of that bad experience, I decided that whatever research I'm doing now has to be commercialized. It has to be something I can take out to the market. And that's where Pain No More came on. The essential oil, pain relief oil. That I wanted to solve the problem of pain. People don't have to be taking tablets all the time. If you have a small pain, rub the oil on your hand instead of taking Panadol because it goes to the liver. It's doing things that are not good for the body. So that's how Pain No More came up. Then Brocolus came up
Interesting names.
because, yes, it's from broccoli powder. Broccoli is not essentially a tropical plant, but it grows in some parts of Nigeria, in Jos. It grows there. It's very cold there. So, but it can also grow in Lagos. I'm actually trying to establish a greenhouse where I can start growing broccoli. So I found out that broccoli, in my cancer research, it regulates hormones. It reduces blood pressure. And when it's regulating hormones, it's for estrogen and progesterone, testosterone. So we're talking about prostate cancer and gynecological cancers. It's a wonder vegetable, and we don't know about it. So I decided to start doing that. I actually was sponsored. I had a small grant from my university, and I did animal studies, and I saw so much good from the research that I had conducted. So I started packaging the leaves. You know, I dehydrate instead of drying. I have a dehydrator. I dehydrate. All these things I do myself. I don't have a staff yet.
The stuff will
So it's
come,
still
Joy.
it's still very small. So I'm
Mhm.
hoping to scale up over time. And essentially, my research is born from the work that I've done, okay, to make it into a business, to help the people, like you said, people around me, Nigeria, because charity begins at home, then Africa, then
Wonderful.
globally. I took Pain No More to Spain. Interestingly, I took it and I was marketing it to some of the professors in the university where I was. Just to know, it was like a kind of trial to know if it works for Caucasians the way it works for Africans.
For
It
Africans, yeah.
worked. I gave
Wow.
to one professor. She was so impressed. She said it made her sleep so well, which is true. It makes people sleep. And the pains that have I patented it? In fact, she made me think of patenting it.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Patented it. Is it
finished
another
all,
plant?
no, it's oils
Wait,
in a
drugs. Oil.
specific
Okay.
concentration. Okay, so it's the method that will be patented, not the raw material.
Okay.
So it was a success.
Wonderful.
In fact, it's my bestseller. Pain No More is Pain No More. Is my
So you
best-selling
have
product.
so you have 4 products in total. You have Pionomo, Citrotox, Voculus, and this one.
No,
You
three.
have
What
3.
you are calling Pain No More is Pain No More.
Pain no more. Okay. Pain
Yes.
no more. Okay. Wow, wow. Wonderful, wonderful. So
Yes.
it's very interesting what you're saying. Do you have a website where you sell them, or for the moment, just a
I have, okay, I have books also. I've written some books. I have 3 books.
yeah, I saw
It's on
your book,
Amazon.
Painkiller
Yes, you know about the
plants.
books.
Yeah, yeah,
So
on
the
Amazon.
the
Yeah.
pro the products are on a Nigerian website, seller. That's the only place I'm selling, because right now I don't have the capability to send abroad to people unless
Mhm,
I'm hand carrying it, unless I'm traveling. Like I was in
mhm.
Kampala some months ago. I took some
Yes.
to people that had contacted me from that part of the world. So I sold to them. So right now it's only for Nigerians.
And how do you ensure safety, quality, and regulatory compliance? Because I don't have no doubt about the safety and quality, but the regulatory compliance when developing natural product-based solutions, because you know that we have a regulatory compliance, we have to comply to some regulations written by people who are not even in the field, but we have to
Yes.
comply because it is regulatory.
Yes, yes, yeah, this is very crucial. It's very, very crucial, and I'm very happy you brought it up. You know, in Nigeria, we have NAFDAC, and NAFDAC is an organization that regulates food and drugs. So for herbal medicines, anything herbal, they list it. It's called listing. So you don't need to do clinical trials because many of the herbals are already in use for eons, for millennials. They've been used for many years. So they just come, look at your facility, make sure it's aesthetics and the things are properly done, and they list your product and give you a number. So that is already done. And because I'm producing in the Faculty of Pharmacy, you know, I told you my business is a direct result from my research in the
Research, yeah.
university.
Your mic is,
Or
yeah, okay, okay.
yes, I've done all that. And
Mhm.
then NAFDAC still comes to look at setup, how the lab has been set up. Is actually in my lab that I'm using. And some of this work were initially funded by the university. So I have to have ethical approval from the university. Since I'm using, some of them I use animals. So all these are covered. Thank you very much for bringing that out.
Yeah, very interesting. Doing research, bringing solutions to the market, you are always in contact with people. So you
Yes,
invest in people. So
yes.
From your experience, what core skills do African researchers need to compete globally today?
Infrastructure. We need infrastructure because we have the expertise. There are so many brilliant researchers all across Africa. I've met so many. I'm a part of African Women in Agricultural Research and Development. You have brilliant women researching. I'm part of Nigerian Society for Pharmacognosy. There are men and women, excellent researchers, but we don't have the infrastructure. I was talking to somebody a few days ago, and I was saying, I wish African millionaires and billionaires will start investing in research the way the other generation of Americans and Europeans. You hear of Rockefeller Foundation, you hear of Ford Foundation, and more recently, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So I was telling the person, like I always say, charity begins at home. So I start calling out my own people. Otedola, one of the billionaires in Nigeria, Dangote, billionaire in Nigeria.
Dangote,
they are doing a lot already, but I'm not aware that they are supporting science. It's possible they are, but I've not. It has to be made more, it has to be louder for people to know. And then the musicians, Davido, Wizkid, these are millionaires in dollars. So I wish those people and those foundations can invest in African research, Nigerian research, so that we start solving our problems ourselves. We cannot keep depending on others. We cannot, it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable.
Yeah. It's true, just what you're saying. I think that they don't always invest like we wish because they are not in contact with researchers. I've noticed that African researchers, not you, but in general, is the tendency. African researchers do not use TikTok, Facebook, etc. Like European researchers, for example. They have to promote their work. It's what we are doing on African Science. Thanks again for your time today. I think that if researchers in Nigeria, in Africa in general, take some time in their laboratory, filming what they do with the tools they have, because maybe they think that it is not worth to show, but they have to be happy with what they have in their laboratory, show what they are doing every day, so that the Davido, the Whiskey, the Dangote, everybody can feel like concerned about that, and maybe found what they are doing. What do you think about that?
You are 100% correct. In 2022, Association of Commonwealth Universities gave me a small grant to train PhD candidates, PhD researchers on how to be visible on social media. Okay. And I had, this is across Sub-Saharan Africa, Asia. I had people from Pakistan join, India, Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya. And I trained, there were 40-something participants because I paid for their data. The ACU gave me money and I gave the trainees some money so that they will be serious, So, and we were able to establish that being on social media is the last thing in their mind, They are chasing their research. They don't want, visibility is it now. Before it was publish or quench. Now, be visible or you quench. You need to be visible. And that's why I keep telling my mentees, my proteges in the university, you need to be visible from as early as possible. Insofar as you have something to say, something to show, let the world see. My colleagues, the older ones, is more difficult to convince them, because their orientation is different.
They're old school.
Yes. but some of them are very daring. Some of them ask, and some of them want to, okay? So, and it's impressive to see what other people are doing. So what you're saying is so crucial, because I don't think if Dangote is aware of that is why your work is so important. This podcast that you have for STEM is so crucial, because from here, it can go anywhere, all over the world. Okay, I can take some of this and share it in the website of Dangote so that he knows, because we are calling his name. So the algorithm will be telling him, this is what they are saying. We need you here. We need some money. We need infrastructure to get these things done. And he's somebody that wants to develop Africa, already. So my colleagues are not on social media, and that's where you have to be. Now, let me give you an example of something I experienced in Argentina. Do you know that a professor who was working on cancer research, Argentinian, she couldn't get funding. So she went to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire of Argentina.
Wow.
And she went there and answered the questions, and she won. And she got the millionaire. She got the millions, rather. Yeah. And she applied it to her research. It was not for her pocket. She just wanted to make
to promote
impact.
Her work. Yeah.
Yes. She's training her students. She's doing her work. She wants to solve the problem of cancer. And she went there, put herself out. So when I heard that, the whole university was our boss. Everybody, the students were so happy, their lecturer, So it gave me some ideas. So I'm looking for opportunities like this.
Yeah, to play like who wants to be a billionaire? Why not? Yeah, all the best. I'm sure you are going to win. I hope the questions will be solely on plants, pay no more, etc. Then surely you are going to win.
Thank you.
So please let us start another one. Yeah, because so I will close and we start
fine.
one. The same link.
Okay.
So Joy, we mentioned about your books. I saw only one book on Amazon, Painkiller Plants. I will have some time to click a little bit more and find the other books. Maybe you can talk about all the books you wrote very briefly. Yeah, first of all, please.
Okay. Thank you for asking that. My first book is actually Foods and Hormones, Phytoestrogens in Edible Plants. So I wrote it when I realized that there is a lot of misinformation about estrogen in plants. For instance, it's also from my work, from my PhD work, research work, because the diosgenin, the compound in yam that makes it medicinal, is actually a phytoestrogen. Okay, so I found out that these things interact with our health in ways that people are unaware. That's one. The second reason is a very simple book. In fact, for some of my colleagues, it's not scholarly. But I'm not looking to write scholarly books. No, I am interested in even illiterates picking up the book, leafing through and seeing pictures of plants they are familiar with, getting somebody to explain, oh, what is written here? And the person explains to them. That's how low I went to be able to make it understandable to people. So I'm not searching for, I don't know, what professorship or I want to make impact. I want to affect the lives of people. And that's why I started writing those books. It's actually more difficult to write than scientific manuscripts because scientific manuscripts have been trained to write scientific manuscripts. You write with a lot of jargon, chemistry terms, phytochemistry. So when I was writing Foods and Hormones, it was hard, not to put difficult words that people will understand, and also to get the pictures clear enough so that they recognize the plants that I'm talking about, because I put botanical name and common name. Because the botanical name is for those that are not Nigerians, because the common name may be common in Nigeria, but then somebody somewhere else, they call it a different name. So with the botanical name is universal. So it's to help people globally. So that's Foods and Hormones. Then I wrote Painkiller Plants. I have antibiotic plants and painkiller plants. I've told you that I'm interested in pain, solving the problem of pain. So there are so many plants that one can use just to drink. Clove, for instance. If you're feeling a bit of headache, instead of taking Panadol, you can make clove tea and just sip warm and rest a bit. The headache will disappear if it is tension headache or stress. Headache is actually a symptom of some other things. So somebody may have tension headache or stress headache and they take Panadol, it solves the problem. But it's actually drug abuse, because what the person needs is to rest. You need to sleep, not to take medicine. So
Exactly.
that's why I wrote painkiller plants. Then antibiotic plants are plants that have antimicrobial principles. These are 3 areas that my research is. I'm going to also write cytotoxic plants, but it's going to be called, I won't call it cytotoxic, it's a bit too much. So it has to be for plants that have cancer killing effects, common plants that are in our environment. And inside those books, I always put a caution. Whenever I'm talking about medicinal plants, I always put this caution, because there is this mistaken idea in some groups that because they are plants, they are natural, they are safe. It's not true. One can actually abuse and misuse herbal medicine. I have a YouTube channel where I talk about this. So essentially, in those books, I also mention, one has to be very careful. There's a way one can use plants and it becomes fatal. It can lead to fatalities. So I don't mince words about these things. So that's the genesis of writing those books. Essentially, it's for people that are not in science, people in art, business, that don't understand science, everybody, people that don't understand science terms, so that they'll be able to, even children should be able to read it and understand.
Exactly. So, Joy, you mentioned something very interesting, the word scholarly. Many of your colleagues, they are committing a very big mistake. I'm sorry to say that, because saying that your book may not be scholarly, it is the confirmation that they are not promoting science in general like it should be done. They are promoting science in their environment, direct environment, in the universities. But promoting science, it is to talk with people who are not in the field. And like you said, we have to promote by using words everybody will understand. Exactly, that's the point. Because the aim is not to make the thing scholarly. The aim is to making that people understand how they can avoid pains, they can be safe whenever they are like in danger, etc. So well done, congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So maybe to finalize this topic of the books, where can we find the books apart from Amazon?
Seller, Nigerian website. So I can share that later with you.
Sure.
And they are available as ebooks, so one can download them from wherever anybody is. Seller is now available, at least the ebooks are available globally. So you just pay and download, yes.
Wonderful. Yeah. So you said that you are promoting as well on YouTube. We are going to share your YouTube channel as well, and you are also a woman leading. I would say scientific leadership, STEM as well. So what challenges do you face when you do that? How do you navigate them?
Okay, thank you very much. As a woman researcher, scientist, it's the challenges I face is misunderstanding from peer, my fellow researchers, that because I have this mindset of impact more than mindset of promotion, I get misunderstood. That is me. That's it. And it's not because I'm a woman. It's because it's a factor of age and being African. There's this cultural thing that comes in. in the university. In fact, it's so serious that in some seminars, after a professor had spoken, nobody else should speak because he has.
It reminds me
And
of a
because
movie I saw on Netflix.
it's,
Yeah.
these movies, they sometimes replicate real life. Okay.
Mm.
So my hindrance is not because of my gender, it's because of my youth and my forward progressive thinking. Okay. Maybe because I'm exposed, having worked at IITA, having done research abroad, I've interacted with all kinds of people, and I know that what is most important is impact. So what I do is I try to empower girls in STEM. Let me, an example of what I do.
Yeah, sure.
For my
Mhm.
undergraduate classes, I've been in the University of Lagos for 13 years now. I was employed in 2012. So this is my 13th year. So I'm experienced. I noticed over time that when I say, who will volunteer to be the class rep, class governor? Boys. Only the boys. The girls do not volunteer. So you know what I do? I tell them, I'm a feminist of the good kind. I want girls to be. And
Yeah, to
Patrick,
encourage them. Yeah.
yes, Patrick, do you know that last year, it's bringing tears to my eyes. A girl came up to me after she has served as a group. It's not even the class governor. She was just a group head of 10 people. She came up to me and she told me, Dr. Dimegu, it's the first time I'm being selected to do anything like this. I'm so grateful. Oh, my year was made. My
Wow.
year was made. So she felt empowered. This girl is like a little, kitten in the class. She's not. So I deliberately pick those silent, quiet ones. And she did a good job. So
Yeah.
the boys already know. So sometimes some of the girls, the ones that are bold, will come and say, as we are girls, we'll score all the marks. I say, no, no. You have to earn what you deserve. So sometimes a boy gets the highest mark and they're like, I say, yes, I'm teaching you something. You need to work hard. That I'm helping you does not mean I will now give you what you don't deserve. This is ethical, I'm bringing in all
Exactly.
kinds of conversations into the whole thing. So I'm very happy teaching and mentoring students, girls and boys, but I empower the girls because we are in a society where, I'm not sorry to say this, but it's a man's world. At least where I
Unfortunately,
am.
it's a man's
It's
world.
world.
But
So
maybe in the future it'll be a woman's world. Who knows? Yeah.
I
So,
also support the boys, that I see, because sometimes you see the boys that are suffering, you can
mm,
see some of them, but there are fewer. Okay. So
mm,
I'm like the mother of the whole group, where whichever class I'm teaching, I have an eye out for these type of things, but more for the girls, especially in science, because some of them are struggling. There are so many things that they are contending with, and that I try to make them understand that they can approach me. In fact, last week, a student approached me that she has a business idea. Can we collaborate? I say, yes, a girl. I say, wow, yeah,
wonderful.
let's do it.
Wonderful.
Because she
I
knows
also
that
want to collaborate. Oh,
I'm happy. Please.
we are going to collaborate.
I'm very happy to
We
do
must, we
that.
must, we must promote science.
Yes,
Technology,
yes.
engineering, mathematics in Africa and in the world to show
It's
the
very
world that
important.
Africans also
Yes,
contribute a lot.
yes.
So
You're
we
very
are
right.
almost at the end of our interview. So finally, what is one message you would like every young African scientist watching this interview to remember?
This is something I tell my students. They are so lucky to be born at this time. This is the time that when you work hard, you see the benefits immediately, because the world has shrunken. The world is smaller. Okay. So work hard, make yourself heard diligently, ethically, no cutting corners, and you make it. in whatever sphere, business, science, research, whatever, arts, artists. I have an artist friend that couldn't afford a room. She couldn't, Lagos is very expensive. You know what she did? She went online and designed a virtual museum, and she's showing people's works in that virtual, free. You can do that. She used AI to help her. So this is a wonderful moment to be alive. So with artificial intelligence used properly, ethically, you can do so well. So they should chin up. There is a lot of hope. There's a lot happening for people that are hardworking and to be abreast with what is happening in whatever area they've chosen. On Twitter, I see young people doing escapades, just putting what they are doing. I see artists putting their things, and people are liking it. People are ordering. Somebody is cooking rice somewhere. She puts it on Twitter. People are buying. So I didn't enjoy this when I was at their age, but I'm tapping into it now. So this is a wonderful time to be alive. They should not worry too much about the wars. Those things have always been, there are always one problem or the other somewhere. If they are of the praying kind, they pray. But then the focus is work hard, use the facilities that are available, especially the internet. You can do a lot using the internet. So it's a hopeful time.
Dr. Joy Odimegwu, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Patrick. I'm very happy to be here. Yes.